All right, hey everybody, welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV stream. I am so excited. I want to show the title screen off and like the awesome music that it has, but yeah, I didn't want to wait for the inevitable. I had to wait like for over 1,000 people, which is ridiculous. But yeah, as you can tell, I am a different class. I want it to be really, really like, what's the word I'm looking for? Awesome when it comes to, I basically want it to be like a paladin. I want it to be thematic is the word I'm looking for. I just realized that it only takes about 6 million to level up. Wow, even the EXP got stat switched. Okay, so there's a lot of differences here. There's a lot of differences. There's quite a few things. Like, there is no more of the other stuff. It's just poetics, which is, it's weird, but that's fine because I have 2,000, so I'm like, whatever. But the Ether Compass is now in a separate menu called Collection, which I have a feeling this is going to fill up with other things. But also, belts are gone. I don't know where they're at in my inventory. I mean, there might be a spot for them, but whatever. I don't care. Belts have been kind of a thing like that I don't really care about. I just kind of equip them and be whatever because I never showed anything. But my HP was at over like 100,000. It was ridiculous. And now it's at 40,000. So there has been a massive, massive stat squish. And yeah, that's going to be weird to see. But I am going to stream for a little bit. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I'm basically just going to hop right on in because it is now time to experience Endwalker. Let's begin. Horse chestnut weapon coffer. Is that going to be better than my weapon that I have right now? But let's find out. Azurius, do you have time to talk? I have plenty of time. I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. You're going to give us a reminder of what's going on? Let's take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in the multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Thaliak. The Thaliak's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already had these towers, there has been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem to be able to resist being tempered at least. But after what's happened to Arnvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Thaliak are under the leadership of Fandaniel and another delightful fellow, Xenosia Galvis, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Secession, but that has since changed and in troubling ways. Oh, you're gonna talk now? Okay. During our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket the ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Thaliak. An army of Paramils is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it's only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, then quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We'll find a way in Charlian, I'm sure of it. Master Fortunal's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The Forum knows more than is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We just received words from Mistress Kryl. She says that arrangements for your visits have been finalized. You're to head to Limsa Lumenza and board the next ship bound for Charlian. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldestian. Come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? You must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I'm eager to see it, of course. Of course. And we should set off at once. They don't come near you to the docks. You know at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. New quest accepted music. I do like that they actually didn't voice the first scene, because that literally is just a recap of what happened, because it's been so long since the last expansion. I mean, I came into it when the expansion kind of already existed, so I had so much stuff to go into. Like, I had like the original game all the way up to Shadowbringers. This is actually me entering a new expansion, actually entering it as it's new. I have no idea what's going to happen. I didn't know what's going to happen in any of the other ones, mind you, but I at least had an idea of where to stop and pace myself. Here, not so much. I'm probably just going to do the same thing where if I get an achievement after a certain amount of quests, I'm probably just going to stop. That's usually how it goes for me. But we'll see how it goes so far. I do like a lot of the changes. I do like the teleportation screens when you're going to an ether current. That's actually cool because it shows a map now. Like, you see a map on the screen. It's like, oh, hey, here is where you're going to teleport. That's cool. That's actually something I wanted for the longest time, and they finally added it. Like, when I first started the game, I'm like, yeah, I want that. That guy is very pink, by the way. Wow. Okay, let's see. I want to go over to the docks, which the closest one is the Arcanist Guild, which I can just click on it. I can just click on it. Yes, that is cool. I didn't think that would actually work. I just kind of tapped it. I'm like, oh, neat. But yeah, like I said earlier, where is it? Collection screen, Ether Compass. I have a feeling we're going to be getting more of those. What's my scale on that? That's 140. Yeah, that's fine. I don't... Actually, you know, I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to shrink this. I don't think I'm going to be needing this screen that often, so I'm just going to shrink that to like about 120. So far, I haven't really noticed anything too different when it comes to the Paladin, like just looking at my stuff. But I guess I'll see when that comes time. I just don't like the fact that I have 60,000 health missing. Why did I hit travel to Vesper Bay? I'm in the area I want to go. That's fine. I'll just skip this cutscene because this is not where I'm supposed to be going. Whoops. My bad. Okay. Let me go to where I actually want to go, where I've never actually used the boat here to actually travel. There we go. That's a little better. Just a teeny little bit better. Travel back. Travel back. I can just imagine that right now. Like, I get on the boat and I take off and everyone's like, where's Azurius at? Like, he should be here. I'm like, I got on the wrong boat. That is a lot of people. Wow, they are all starting. And Walker. Everyone's here, which is good because I already paid for your passage and the fee is non-refundable. The ship of Charlene should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louisoix of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just, we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
I'll bring them back safe and sound. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye. We, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Charlian!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Here. Feel. Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow early riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Why now, Hydaelyn?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Hydaelyn has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Sharlian, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next, then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlian all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlian only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlian's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we? Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alizé Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Oh boy. Zurius Carmine, artisan.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement and production. You may enter. And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
I can finally move. Thank you. Oh my gosh, people are watching this cutscene all over. Oh dear, frame rate. Okay. Frame rate. Okay, let's see. We got stuff all over the place. Let me finish this quest really quick. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming in the port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. You. Horse chestnut chest gear. I said chest gear. But yeah, that was a very, very long cutscene. And yeah, a lot of fellas do sound like that. You would think that they would have higher pitched voices because they're short, but no. I think the closest one was Papalimo, but he was kind of just a slightly higher pitched voice where he's like all dignified. Another cutscene? I thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Azurius and Estinian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was very long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you are dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you're settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. How does that sound? Just a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levier estate as such. I like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I'm equally untethered, as it were. This is no particular place that I can call home. So why not pass up an opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city? Likewise, a quick tour of the old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheric Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But oh. Alright, would you like to join us then? Been gone quite a long while. It'll be a perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Of course, if you would have me. I'm Azurius. Charlian awaits. In terms of names, they have a lot of people that just have names that are similar. Okay. Gratia just got eaten up there by an NPC. Well, not NPC, another player character. After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Now accompanying you. Keep him out of your sight in order to proceed with the quest objectives. You leave him by entering a different area using Ethernet and putting too much distance between you. You also speak with him to select the option to part ways. This is different. Wish to have him accompany you again. Return to speak with him at the original location. Okay. That's kind of cool. Now said, then let's be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. It's also now accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Crow at the designated location. While you're accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way. That's cool. I like that. That actually like brings up lore stuff where you can actually like learn things. All right, so explore surroundings. That's cool. But yeah, a lot of the names and stuff are just references and things like that to other Final Fantasies and things like that. Okay, so we got a conversation there. That's a name. That's a name. Ah, to learn Wurtwib. What the heck is this thing? All right, so we got a lot of Ethernet shards to actually go around. I see a bunch of conversation points. It's cool that they're following me around, though. That's actually kind of neat. So let's go over here. I'm guessing this is the last stand. Summoning bell. That's not the last stand. Last stand's over here, but there is a thingy over here, so let's see what this is. With all the unusual wares coming and going at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer will be highly appreciated. I see no reason why you couldn't undertake any tasks which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials, after all. Look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Charlie in the same way it is in Eorzea. This place is called the Peristyle. As the first stop, the cargo unload at the docks, you find the usual necessities for daily living, other points vital to running the island nation. It also supplies that further Charlene's pursuit of knowledge, namely large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. So these stacks may keep the tenants busy. That's cool. So you can just walk into a location and like learn more about it. Okay, so let's go to the actual first area, which this is not the actual first area, but I'm kind of curious what this one is. Now that is a sight one can hardly forget. I can't look at camera. There we go. The great statue of Thaliak. As a student about this, is usually quartered on the Isle of All, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. There it is. Up there. Path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, a name for the statue of the scholar which stands at the end. As you know, the Charlean people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. That's when Thaliak was chosen as their patron deity. It's more than a matter of pragmatism than belief, the alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as to say that guardians individual Charleans can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. Okay, so this is the actual point I need to go. There is a lot of people in this town, but I would expect that for quite some time. Okay, and then it turns into a thingy here. And here we are, the last stand, the third stop now. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research in the nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlean tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. And encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, yes, I remember that thing, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and the taste a distant second. There was one pupil studying him, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, and so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings in building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as its name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlean, the one and only bastion of culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall the burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were the typical Charlean when it came to cheap and convenience. But surely Tartaru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should stop in when the time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall I press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. Stairs next to the cafe. Okay. What is going on with the shouts right now? I'm about to turn off shouts because they're just getting ridiculous. Yeah, I can just keep going from here. An unusual shape, isn't it? I didn't actually look at it before I talked to you. I assure you, however, that it's perfectly functioning Aetheryte. Remember to tune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlean stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allag and Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what is essentially a lost art. And off we go into our next destination. Our path leads northeast of the Agora, Charlean's largest marketplace. Oh, yeah, that is a fancy shape. Looks like a teardrop. Kind of looks like a magnetoma a little bit. Let's see. Got this over here. Is there any more points of interest? Here we go. You mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment, how optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. These open air bookstalls are uniquely Charlean. I always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Okay, give me a second here. Here we go. The log window's just getting annoying. I'm just reading like people shouting nonsense. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlean, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. He also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has distinctly died out for the most part. Otherwise, I could think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? Now, on a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one of particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. Let's head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, and climb up the stairs up to the imposing building at the very top. So speaking of, there's teleportation point down there. There's one here, 2 here and here, 1 all the way over there. I have a feeling I'm gonna be going to a lot of these areas, so I'm not gonna worry about it just yet, but I'll get the one to the north. So I could just kinda, yep. Okay, good, they just kinda dive bomb down and follow me. The kind of book stalls, is that what you mean? Like the book stalls, yeah. I like the idea of being able to like just find like books. Like it reminds me of the book fairs back in the day. It's kind of neat, but just having them out in the open, maybe at a flea market. Did I lose any? No, I didn't lose anybody. Okay, good. This little decorative features are typical of Charlian architecture. Aside from their research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of All were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is the Nephium, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charlians, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It's a reminder of the great flow which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine air. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in architecture. Okay. I mean, water could be fancy if you make it fancy. Okay, so I do know that more than likely what's going to happen is that I'm going to have like a, I'm going to get the Aetherite first. I'm going to get to a certain point where there's going to be split quests. Each expansion, and like each expansion had these where you got to do like a specific amount of quests over here, then a specific amount of quests over here. Then you continue on with the story. More than likely, I'll probably get through that tonight. If that actually exists in this. There you go, I got that. So now over here. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. Its name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which the forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring, Yura? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. Vista put me in mind of my arrival on the first. Those who have gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers are all inspired by the knowledge of the finest settlement that you think of, the great city of Charlian. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the councils will object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes at the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Okay, I walked to this. Yeah, this is the way I came. What the heck happened there? That was weird. I saw like a glitch on the side. Oh, that's a Reaper thingy. Okay, that makes sense. So people are just leaving those behind. It reminds me of Warframe when you're using Loki and you just kind of void out into like a specific area, leaves one of those things behind. Okay, there should be a thingy right over here. Okay, I'm gonna hit that really quick. I don't know if I'm actually going to need to come to a lot of these areas, but I have a feeling I might need to at some point, so I don't know. Okay. We arrived at the journey's end. History tells us that this is where those who put ashore at the Arcanist Guild built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district of the most important officials and oldest Charlian families. You see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. The estate belongs to our friends from House Lavier. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Badessian Annex? You remember the way, don't you? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, and then follow the path to below the Aether Plaza. Correct. After you, Azurius. Alright, I'm going over there, which is nice because I could just kind of teleport there, but honestly, this map isn't that big. So I could probably get there pretty dang quickly. Woo. There we go. Okay, that is, I want that clipped. I want that clipped so badly. Wow, that. Aether Plaza. I don't know if I got the annex yet. Wish I could just click on them from this map and just teleport, but nope. I had to actually click on something. But if I haven't done it yet, then I haven't done it yet. See, there's a thingy there, and there's a thingy there. So let me just walk right past them really quick and hit this. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldessian Annex. If we continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I don't know if it'll actually send links on my chat, unfortunately. I'm back, and I brought Azurius and Raha with me. Ah, you're right about the ship then. Hello, Raha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Azurius. I've heard many tales of your exploits. I don't know how to say the name. Ojika? Ojika Sunjika? I missed the part there. Let me introduce Ojika Sunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Baldessian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. The champion of Eorzi has featured prominently in Kral's and Graha's reports. So, for me, this is akin to seeing a fabled hero come to life. It's an honor to make your acquaintance. This place is like a second home for the students. Alval served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Sharlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the Annex here is built to provide lodgings for our members while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the Annex has served as a base of operations. And yet it feels so empty, with so many of us lost. Our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we'll see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Talaferoi fall. Through that door on the left, there is the main hall. We can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I had the private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. The nap room is perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. So simply that we are so often busy with research, are exhausted from journeys abroad, that we slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus became known as the students as the nap rooms, even if such naps will last into the following morning. I know the feeling! Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Oh, hello. The students have risen. They exist. Instance, please. There we go. Much quieter. Feeling refreshed and alert? no. Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, Our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts. You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking. Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
All right, so split path it is. All right, so we got 2 quests. I might as well just take them both, but first, let me go to my inventory. I've been getting these things. Are these better than what I have? They are immediately better than what I have. What does this look like? I'm actually kind of curious. Oh, that's neat. I'll probably get other stuff too to go along with it, but right now it looks a little bit like what? All right. So we got this one here, which has the foot gear. So hitting the books, which is the one that's in town. Unsettling changes come over Sharlayan, but together we'll divine the underlying cause of the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they're willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Sharlayan's archive of historical records for any hints of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There have been so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now I have this band of willing reinforcements, so it should proceed all the swifter. As we convene outside Nomenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. So we got Bookland and... I have Kral's instructions in hand. If you're ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Nanavir before, I can travel by Aetheryte, but what are the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kral is of the same mind. I have already secured the aid of good folk at the confluence. We'll take ourselves there. Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbrita. Moonbrita was an authority of etherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own rights, and both are researchers at the confluence. Haven't you gotten to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. They are to kind of say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let's be off. When we arrive, we should look for the researcher named Kite? Alright, so we have 2 destinations to do. We have... 1 second. Load, please. Load. I heard that long times are slightly longer because there's a lot of people going on right now. We're then a veer bound and hitting the books. Let's see. I'm gonna do this one first, which is right behind me. Okay. It is right behind me, but I kind of have to take the long way around, apparently. Probably in here. Oh no, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Crow and the students of Bodestian. I said that so wrong. We seek passage through the Vanifear and understand that you could assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you haven't heard? Oh, then allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're in the mess of ether hurling towards the life stream. An inconvenient, inconvertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. I skipped a line. The way to teleport instantly to places you've never been? For long years, we labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And while we've finally done it, we created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly, that changes everything. While my language may have been a bit misleading, the user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. Well, it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan, and the other one in Yedlimad, a port town in Vanifear. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Razatan, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. To sum it up, where's the test of these aetherites? How fortuitous for you. I should mention that the accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A venerable dream come true, and far be it for me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. May come as a surprise, but we're actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of the souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mrs. Kryle surely truly knows how to pick them. There. If I might change the subject, are Master Wolfson and Mistress Blowwida not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They recently resigned the post. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. Large-scale project helmed by the forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations. Head outside to the Aetheryte Plaza. I'll be along shortly. Okie dokie. To the Aetheryte Plaza I go, which is that door wanted to slam into my face for a second.
Right, we're all set. Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please? Is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads Athan. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
Seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? Search for Estinian. Where is he? He's somewhere. Well, there's the Aetheryte. I might as well just attune to the Aetheryte. Where's Estinian at? There's Estinian. Come on, I can do it. No! Why is he not a junkmonger for drinks? You there, I need 3 drinks. Something that helps with ether sickness. By the Manusa. A traveler. Greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special armor lazi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. A very warm welcome to Vanavir. I am pleased to offer to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, but not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. The price is high road robbery. I want to say as much as Estinian, but you realize any words of warning when we cry out will be accompanied by your last meal. I must stand before Estinian using gestures to deny that the deal is fair. I thought she could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me. Whoa. So sincerely, apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion could have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I explore the town. Oh, no. Can I like drink it? Is it in my inventory anywhere? Oh, for some reason, mine is not in there. Praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Estinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time. Excellent. You spared us to Tataru's wrath. Sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. I have found it. It's the most I could do against this heat shore shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? Local vendor. The man said it is the Varian weave. Tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. There's nothing fancy, but I always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Aphano could hold a candle to you. I'm inclined to agree with that assessment. It doth seem excessive, unusually so. Claiming Vanavir as its dominion, the nation in Razatan have long thrived as the hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Akrasadora, the Matanga tribe. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling and culture risk and distinctive, I can't talk right now, did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hannish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over. Development only aided by the ancient's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All this half combined to make the trading power at Razatan. Yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Bleh. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants of the gateway town are free to police hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so that opportunistic pricing is rampant off to suggest that oversight is much weakened, or perhaps that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, it would be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, we have not to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yellowmod? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Right, so let's split up and make inquiries in town. Azurius, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can regroup by the Aetheryte. Off-putting, though, the mere sight of it may be. Alright, speaking of the Aetheryte... Oh, my map is just not filled. Okay, so I'm gonna assume... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Alright, so I have a lot of stuff I could look for through here. That's gonna take some time to get through. I was kind of hoping to see like Aetherites here, but I guess it's just the one. So I guess I'll just go to the pier and then find out what's going on here. Oh, hello. There's a crate of fruit there. I'm gonna click on that really quick. Crate is laden with fruits, but they're on the verge of spoiling as they have been left too long. Okay. Oh no, if it isn't a traveler, here we're a sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us wide berths and that accursed tower suddenly appeared on Nanarire. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after that fashion, but no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives to thank to the Radiant Host, but business is good as dead. What will become of us only gods know. Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off the nearby isles, the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Compared to other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. Okay. What about you? What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit, though I don't know why I bother. I hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible. I suppose there could have been even worse. Could have a consortium to keep afloat, like Khalzal. I don't envy his position. Better be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Khalzal a visit. I'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at Saltwind Sails, the Harbor Guild building across the water from there. So across the water I go. The Dalmatians aren't coming, but we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire's at war with itself, and its provinces are in chaos. And then there's a tower sitting on our doorstep, spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we offer no protection out here. You can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. Yeah, but this will be an enormous loss. All right, forget about the Dalmatians. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all our perennial Hannish favorites. Our consortium works closely with merchants and artisans and supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things because all I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been canceled or are indefinitely postponed. And you are? Wait, you're a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. I see, that's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Excuse me. My name is Matya, and I'm here to see Kazal. Oh, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. Wow, he took off really, really fast. Okay. Where are you? All the way over there. Yes, can I help you? Oh, I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Kazal too, did you? I'm Matya, a fisherman of Akili, a nearby village. I sell my cash to Kazal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't brought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium has been struggling, I became worried and decided to come see him. Just as soon as he's free. Anyway, he's a hardworking man. I dare not disturb him. If I may ask, what is it that you do? An adventurer, you say? You travel the world, helping people. You must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You see, I brought some fresh fish with me. The portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. Problem is, I'm terrible with people. I've only ever dealt with Kazal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know, and we can begin at once. Events that follow cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finding registrations. That's funny that they actually say that, because I'm not actually doing any of that. Let's see, I got hand gear. Good, because this does not match what I'm wearing. Okay. Click. Click. That's a little better. You'll do it then. Show me how to deal with customers. How many do that? Right, please try peddling my fish. Just, shall we say, 3 people here in Yulamad. I'll observe you and learn. I'll say this now. Accompanying you, keep on your side in order to pursue quest objectives. You can leave Mancho behind by entering a different area. Okay. Alright, so peddling to different people. Here we go. Let's see, what do we got? We have somebody all the way down the way. Let's go over there. Let's hope I'm good at pedaling. Yes? Fish, fish. I got fish here. Fresh fish, straight from the sea's bosom to your mouth. Yeah, I'm not sure your bosom fish are very fresh, but this is rather sudden. I don't need any fish right now, so thanks, but no thanks. Failed to make a sale. Never mind, it never goes well the first time, but I'm sure you feel better with the next customer. Maybe. That was maybe a little too strong. Let's try another one. Oh, they're right down the way. Okay. So right over here. All right. Let's try this again. This time, let's not be so pushy. A hawker, are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? If so, I want to buy some Amara. Let's say it doesn't. They don't need to be expert quality. What do you need so many Amara for? My reading, of course. It may seem like a lot, but of late I go through that and much in no time at all. I'm a stock taker by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas, but not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this and that and this and that. All of it wears me down. I find myself feeling constantly hungry. I know how you feel. Are you sure you're actually hungry? I know how you feel. Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit. I enjoyed our little chat. Took my mind off my troubles for a moment. Never mind. If nothing else, you left her with a positive impression. Let's move on to the north side of town, shall we? I am terrible at this. Okay. Next one. I am not a merchant by trade in the slightest. I am an adventurer. North side of town's rather far, so let's like move on here. Hello. Okay, so conversation is different. Okay, let's see here. Too much conversation is a no. Pushy is a no. What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh God, it's my stomach. Ugh. Ether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. In my hurry to get back to work, I ate a little too quickly. Fish being too pushy might be bad, so I'll do one and then try to change it up a little bit. Just take it easier, eat more slowly, and savor your food. With that, I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like it is not circumstances, it will surely get worse before they get better. Still working as hard as I can. Well, I still can. The better to be prepared. What an industrious young man you are. How did you intend to prepare? I'll do that one. Let's see if I can get like a thing. Well, it's not like I'm trying to impress anyone. No, if you excuse me. Oh. Too bad we couldn't make a sale, but we did manage to build something of a relationship. Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was truly an eye-opening experience. I sucked. I sucked so bad. I wonder if they're gonna make me do all that again. So I am not a merchant. Probably never will be. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. No, you didn't manage to sell any fish in the end, but the way you fearlessly approached strangers gave me much courage. That's good. And I put on my words, I remember your example and endeavor to be fearless too. So there's only so much I can do alone. Hope that things will return to normal for Kazal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice. And who should it be but Matsuo? Kazal, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me, try as I might, but I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in, hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options at this rate. So you can't buy my fish anymore? I'm sorry, Matsuo, I truly am, but for now you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I want to help you, I do, but as it stands, I can barely help myself. I poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be darned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me, and I can't. I won't fail them. The sisters are as my witness. Is all. No, not to worry. Using what I learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage somehow. Well, I best my return to the village. thanks again, and please take care on the road. I'm sure if they gave me one more conversation option apiece, I probably might have had a little bit more of a chance of selling some fish. But I got nowhere fast. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust? Tried to sell some fish. I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that it would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected discovery, disappearance and kidnappings are deliberately commonplace. As before, the culprits are most certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth for Lunar Primal. Business as usual for the Laferoy. That monster fellow you're helping, he's an Akrasadara, is he not? Apparently it's just almost exclusively as people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If something is his perpetrator's aim, it does stand that the reason that Akrasadara will be their primary targets. For this is the faith of their ancestors will prevail up in this land, and many are devout adherents still. Better go after him. Akali lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Kral's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while I make for the village. Alright, well that looks to be the gates of the town, so I could leave from there. And there's also a chugwell thingy right here. I'm going to click on that because it would be nice to have one of those. Yes, I don't really need the higher one because I have no way of hiring one. I mean, I do, but I have nowhere to go in this land that requires one. You do not see Matsu nearby, but the elevator ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. All right, it's time for mounts. Pretty sure there's ether currents and all that again, so that's going to be fun. But let's get on the elevator ground really quick. Jump. Can't see a monster from here either. No, leave me alone. Help! Somebody help! Monster's voice came from the north. From the north, we're this direction? That's a different kind of north. Why are you all the way over there? All right, well, this works. I finally get to hear the new battle music, like, actually, like, here. Some attacks have different animations. I'm liking that a lot. Oh, I am slowed. I was wondering why my attacks were going slower. I didn't even look at that. So I'll just use global timer actions. There we go. And then we'll bam. Where did they go? Why are you here? I see you found them in time. You and your friends came to look for me? I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. Think about what to do about, well, everything. And then those men came. Kidnappers. We heard that Akrasadora are being targeted. Surely you have as well. Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know, and the ocean is all we have. I see, that's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. A question, if I may. Just our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What can the South tell us about these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zot. Huh. House of Divinities in the old tongue it means. But they're not true divinities. They're monstrous imitations that bring only death. To have one's face so twisted is a grievous indignity. In full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis no other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with those false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Will thou not tell us of that divinities and their true nature? You come all this way to save us. Really? To think I had you peddling fish? But to answer your question, yes, of course, we will gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please come to our village. We're good God-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge and fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akali? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. It's probably Akali. I don't know how to say half of these things, and there's no voice acting in these parts yet, so I don't know. So this is Simulacra of the varying gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that I will be able to save them. Though indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods like as not. I just said we do well to study the religious traditions exactly. Alright, and away we go. Well, that's not very far. Level 85 Fate. Level 81 Fate. So right down here. That's somebody's car. There we go. Welcome to Akali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here to save that, but please make yourself at home. Your companions already begun talking to everyone, so feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than the Star Kanga and the old Hasvida. They're free at the moment, as it happens. You have the name floating above your head, so I have a feeling you're that person. Whom you should know about our gods. What a curious visitor you are. Must want fish. In any case, I'm happily to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is once you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups. The Manusia, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together they are divinities, their forms and personalities many and varied. Though some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All have possessed a great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. The other one is over there. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears, then, and listen. Ancient times, the Mencia and the Murga deities who look like men and beasts, respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually seeking the wisdom of the Mancha, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Mancha covered in the money of the Murga, and so too they resolved to trade heads. Thus we were born new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as the signs they were same to one another, the Mancha wore an animal face and the Murga the limbs of men. That's weird. I guess it's weird, but Gods be gods, I guess. There you are. Learn a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you're off talking to the others, I remember something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we would like to see it. They are Mancha. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The Cinder one is the eldest, Cinderurva, goddess of wisdom. For this, alchemists hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Sandurova, the goddess of wealth. She counts as many traders amongst her followers. On the left is Mindurova, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts, so beloved by weavers. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep their homes for good fortune. In like fashion to the Manchio, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. What are the Murga, if I may ask? Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit the temples and ruins, you find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses the Gaja's head, and he is venerated as a progenitor of Akrasadara. And then there are the dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too? It said that their ancestor of the satrap, the rulers Razat Han, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legend holds that if the satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. You claim to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear for your faith is plainly here. I'm confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. It's very kind of you to say. Thank you. I'll pray for your success. Right, I believe it's time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Nidhana. According to Kryle's notes, we were to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. Plus he has a shine in his eyes that wasn't there before. Did you say you're going to see Nidhana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind of understanding. Did I say she's beautiful? I could stare at her dainty ears and her adorable trunk all day. And those eyes, when you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. I was just making sure I didn't have a thing there because they were just kind of sitting there. So I'm like, are they going to ask if I want to get in the car? The Great Work is up that way, so I'll just keep heading along the trail. I could probably go along this and get there a little bit faster. And I'm going to hide this again because people are like saying things that I kind of don't want to know yet. Nothing really too spoiler heavy, but still, I kind of want to keep it to a minimum right now. Alright, so do I go in the cave or do I go up? It says down, so I assume I go in the cave. And judging by everybody standing right here, I assume I'm in the right place. So let me tune to this. There we go, and I can just teleport right back here. Hide all these names. Hello, I'm standing on top of them, sorry.
What happened here?
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests. You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see. I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow. People of the great work, I come bearing new scales.
Scales? We have new scales?
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Oh, happy day. Now I can continue my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit. Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower. Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people? Of course! You're the one Kryl sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Ah, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova!
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
That is well. You must be quite familiar with Dragon King, yes?
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not? I should like to draw a file or two, if so.
Now, see here.
Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk? As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your Mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the Great Work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Forestinian. Oh, hello. I'm gonna take that. Thank you. Although I don't really need it because I can teleport here now, but whatever. Let's see here. Straight down and around? There's a mender right there. I don't really need it though. I'm good. Hello, all these people. I'm gonna hide their names so I can actually click on the right person. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world. We're grateful that you would assist us with ours. The Crier herself is tied up with another investigation. Azurius is an eminently capable substitute and will spare no effort to aid you. So if I understand correctly, you mean to make talismans that can nullify etheric emissions? Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, but are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the trial bids us alchemists create enchanted talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Could such a thing be possible? Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon we'll be able to conduct a field test from here where you and your blessing of light come in. And better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. Haha, perhaps so. And knowing my colleagues, they won't be satisfied with blood alone. But as for your task, we ask only that you serve as an escort. I'll explain in greater detail there, but you'll be venturing the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you, with your permission, of course. In that case, Ariane and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work with the point of collapse, I suggest you would do with more hands. We'll be grateful for any assistance you can provide. If you're ready, then let's put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work and turn south, there will be a hill to the right. We'll meet you at the top, and after seeing to some preparations. Alright, so up and around. Is there a way out from here, or do I have to... No, I can just go right over here. Yeah, that works. So right up here. Go around this building. Go around here, and around here. Up. Slightly more around. There we go. There we go, and now we're up here. Hope you didn't have trouble finding this place, or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many sleepless night, the drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficiency. Upon activation, it'll move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe ether sickness. For your test, you'll be exposed 4 times. This should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin when you're ready. We'll be observing from a safe distance. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. Follow the drunken Deepa's lead and try not to fall behind. I just stay right next to it. This is fine. You're struck by a powerful blast of ether. Will suffer no ill effects. Subject has no irrepressible urge to empty the stomach. Confirm. Resuming test. Please follow. I remember Final Fantasy XI had like a command called /follow. I wonder if that's actually a thing. Let's find out. /follow. I put a W there for some reason. / It is not. That would have been too nice. What do you mean preoccupied? I'm right next to it. Oh, whatever. Stand back. Now gather near. You're struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Talk to you again. Subject stomach and bowel integrity holding. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. All right, stand back. Stand back further and go in. Struck with another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Blessing light appears to be keeping you safe from harm. Subject fortitude rated. Impressive. No irregularities. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for the final discharge. Stand back. You're struck by the strongest blast of ether yet, but survive completely unscathed. Etheric exposure testing concluded. Please collect and deliver to me the supervising alchemist. Congratulations, retaining your composure and your humors. Ah, you returned, and not on your knees. A promising sign. Well, come, let me take the deepa off your hands. There you go. Thank you. I shall replenish this ether for when we test the talisman. So no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? Then the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your ether. With this, we can request your aid for the task ahead with these easy hearts. You are a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink, but we have exhausted our stores of a key ingredient for it, spiritweed. The herb grows not far from here, but I would like to go and harvest some. With the recent state of kidnappings, however, we Akrasadara travel alone at our peril. Will you not come with me as my escort? I will compensate you for your troubles, of course. I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajaya's footsteps. It's situated on the road which runs east of the Great Work. Hey, it's not actually an escort mission. I could actually just go there. Cool. It's not terribly far, so mount up. I need to take a look at the experience values for anything below 80. Because I know that it's obvious that the amount of the experience for 80 and above is lowered, but is it the same for everything else? I simply may be imagining, but I feel as though we're being followed. I can't imagine. Look out. Let me help everybody. Gods, that gave me a fright. To think that the moment I ventured outside the safety of the work, and this is to ask you to come with me. You're all right, I hope. Good, good. Let's continue on then. It isn't far now, just through these pillars up and up the rise. Speaking of which, myself a teeny bit more experience as I go along. Won't help for quest turn-ins, but still. I'm surprised to find people actually like farming stuff here already. Hello there, thingy. And here we are. Kajaya's footsteps. Kajaya's was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they come to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. And the benefit of this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I was said about harvesting once. If you would be so good as to stand guard. Kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better safe than sorry. Alright, I shall stand guard.
Yes, that would be Radzad Khan. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
What can you tell me of the satrap?
Well, he is the most important person in Radzad Khan. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether. Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjor from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves. It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people. But when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzad Khan to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen? Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail?
Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
It's surprising that sometimes that people don't see people when they're in specific spots. I have enough spirit weed to last us a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let's head back to the great work, shall we? And by let us head back. Teleport, Mario. Xerius, my thanks again for your assistance. With your help, we're that little bit closer to completing our talisman. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my gratitude. If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you're both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nadhana. It seemed that the stores of Giant Skull are running low. What? But when I last worked, there's still plenty. I suspect that was before Urianger told everyone about the tempering cure, and Ascendian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your peers have been since inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, it leads to new possibilities, and far be it from me to complain, but we need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Azure, loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the Giant Skull? In case you're not familiar, Giant Skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity, its application in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. Quarry where it's found, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. Let me impose on you once more. Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zenua. He'll finish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that'll take me to the outpost nearby. Maybe borrow a pair of Hamsa, Mistress Nadhana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those who survived are still in training. I'll bring the Hamsa to the entrance. Meet me there when you're ready. Oh, everybody just loaded in. Over by the entrance. Here are the Hamsa The creatures look familiar. It is because they are close kin to your Eorzean dodos. Hamsa have long been since kept as livestock in that of year, and many a hatchery may be found here. Last, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, then let's make for the outpost. We said forfeit your word. You're ready, and let's depart. We only need ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead in yours to follow. Let's be off. They haven't ridden dodos before. You warn them that they have a wobbling gait. Just pass right by them. That spectacular formation stretching out over the water is called the Kagda. This sword, legend holds, was wielded in the Mantia against the Murga before it was cast down at conflict's end. To left and require no introduction is the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small isle. Almost there. Though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. And here we are, manned by the Radiant Host. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Oh well, who should it be but young Varshan, on an errand for the satrap? I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. I also wish to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women on the Radiant Host for their unflagged dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard, bleh. And yet, for his balanced benevolence, his treatment as one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for children. Your predecessor too often traveled alone. It's been, 2 years now since you took over? Wonder how the fellow is faring. Like those before me, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may now be, I am certain to you as well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do with my own volition. And gladly, I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering. But still, I worry for you. We'll be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will, Thank you. That's a name. Nabdeen, there we go. And who might she be? Not Hainish by the looks of him. Permit me to introduce Azurius Carmine of the Eorzean contingent, come to assist us in making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes. Tell me, what is the situation like? May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something about you, I believe. An excellent idea. Given the unprecedented nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you could share. You two, bring Varshan the latest reports and answer any questions you may have. All right, I guess I'll walk over here now. Okay, I gotta talk to multiple people. I heard about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophoroi? We know that they are the ones behind the tower, and that they declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This we don't understand. What, they want to die and take everyone with them? What madness is this? Oh, you can bet that we won't let those dastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean of our Eastern brothers. We should know about the tower. To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zot, as folks have been taking to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Naur. We're safe from his influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Our struggles are not unique, then our hopes still lie with the talismans. Let's keep those monsters contained until they're ready. It occurs to me that I've yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Shrop's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we struggle to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on 2 occasions that came in force, we had to pay a heavy price. What are the towers of Eorzea? Did they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls to outside aid to be answered. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? Hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Razat Han ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Last the stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst a dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. Well, come, you had best see to your original errand, as mine will keep me here a while longer. However, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward, but you need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamsa, you'll arrive before you know it. Pretty thorough it was. I enjoyed our time together. Until we meet again. Alright, so follow the road east. What? I'm confused. Oh. I gotta get on the thingy again. Should you become separated from Steve, speak with the Radiant Basekeeper. Yep. Mount it. And away we go. You said follow the road east, but can I go around this way? Let's find out. Is there a path there? No. Okay. Waste of time. All right. Okay, I'm in the hatchery, but I still need to go a little bit more to the east. All right. So I will put on the auto run and let it go. Hello, bye-bye. Hello, bye-bye. That's a lot of things there. Is that the fate? Yes, the fate. That's a lot. I got 2 new locations out of that. That's neat. There we are. The sooner they arrive at a destination, then the Hamsa dashes off. We got here, he's like, nope, I'm out. Hi, this is indeed the Giant Skull Grounds, and I'm Janua. Is there something you require? Giant Skull for the alchemists, you say? But of course they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and it's just the least we could do to provide them with the materials they need. Here you are, a stack of the purest giant skull. We always set some aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the great work know that they're grateful for their efforts. They need more, they need but ask. Back to here. Hello there. A lot more people in here than there were before. Oh, welcome back, Azure. Dare I say, you hope you have the giant skull? That I do. Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype, one that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it's ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that. What is it? What did you see? Daniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last! Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments! We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Daniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
All right, time to travel another. Well, that's a lot of quests. Wow, okay. So I gotta go all the way back up there again. Was there a chocobo thingy over there? There was not. Whatever, I'll just use my own mount. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Just kind of go along the trail here, have the car kind of float a teeny little bit. Let's go this way. We're good to go. Hello, that's a fate. Full pedal alchemist, risky return. They need to get out of the way. That's a lot. That will kill me if I stay in that. Okay, then. This is bonkers. What is this fate? Why is there so many enemies? I probably should actually heal myself up a little bit. Wow, it's so weird seeing Clemency not heal me as much as before. Nope. A decent little chunk of experience. Can I get on my mountain yet? I'm not in battle anymore. Thank you. And away we go. I like that I'm just driving by enemies in a car. How big is this drop? Kind of big-ish, so I'm gonna go like that. There we go. This is rather finer boat than I expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is the board and be on our way. Oh, and if it should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, the prey does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind. Perhaps our only hope for toppling the tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. The longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could. So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old?
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service. Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter, we struggled to breathe. No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation, slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Armon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these mine spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Oh, that didn't bode so well. Oh my god, so many people. Ah, you are returned, but where's Mistress Nidana? I didn't see a preserve. Just when we have succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. I will do that. Because we need to figure out how to actually deal with the tower. Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Fandaniel after all. Darn that dastard. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. Let's tread warily lest we endanger Nidana and the other captives. First, you must inform everyone of the situation, Nidana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Oh, Nidana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This, Nidana proved at peril to herself. So let's make more scales, that she and all who were taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, this is how we'll help them win the fight. Our friends, the Satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you the sling pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the Satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razatan for our audience with His Excellency? We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be a benefit to all. And it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the giant gall grounds, and I'll show you into the city. Alright, so how far? That's far. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be a while. I like that I can actually see all the roads on the map. That's kind of neat. Too bad I'm probably not going to follow half of them. The moment I can, I'm going to make a sharp left. You know, yeah, they exist, but I haven't seen a single one, and I've actually been kind of paying attention and looking for them. I just haven't noticed a single one. It's so weird. Oh, speaking of, the moment I say something. Just make sure not to fall, because it'll be kind of annoying to get back up. There we go. Speaking of, yep, we got a lot of places to go to. Yeah, I know I still haven't got all the ones in Shadowbringer's stuff. I kind of didn't bother out there a little bit, but I'm going to at some point. Not sure when, not sure how, but I'm going to fall down this. I'm almost there. By almost there, I mean I still got a whole stretch of map to go. Ow. Bye-bye, giraffe thing. I have a feeling all the quests are going to be like this for a long time. All present, then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you've been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Radz at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megadota. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radz at Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
But in Dana, she was taken.
A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman. that it will be instrumental in saving Nadana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. And for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sonma's spawn. I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat Khan had an alliance with the dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive were the Aura. Adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzat Khan.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who joined me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my whim."
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm-blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz at Han. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a sure path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radz at Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
So it seems I have a dungeon in order, but it's not happening just yet. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but now we have a clear objective ahead of us. Let's rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to ETH right here before departing, unless you enjoy violent nausea. I don't enjoy violent nausea, but thankfully enough. 1,000? Okay. It's a lot of money. Oh wait, I could just teleport there. I'm right next to it. I don't care. I'm just gonna walk it. Just as I was getting used to the balmy then of year, we're back to the chilly Charlian. Take care not to catch your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, your investigation here remains. But when that's over, we can take stock of all the developments and discoveries. All right. I think it's time to hit the books. I think it's getting rather late for that, so I'm just gonna mend my stuff. Do that really quick. And I will actually do that on the next stream. Hopefully it won't be as jam-packed as it is today, because today is essentially the free access time. Well, not free access, early access. Derp, wrong word. But yeah, also I would like to see if I could find the other new jobs while I'm at it. That would be kind of cool. But I think they are level 70 or something, so I would probably have to level them up anyway to be able to use them in this story. So, well, it'll be kind of neat. Yeah, I don't exactly see myself being able to use them right away, which kind of stinks. Nor do I even know where they're at. So there's that too. Just make my way over to the quest. My frame rate keeps going down every time I see. I might want to turn down the amount of people that are in the area, just because it's kind of jam-packed right now. How many people there are, it's kind of ridiculous. It took me forever to log in, so it's going to probably be a problem tomorrow. But I do intend on streaming this more tomorrow. And I definitely will level up. I definitely will hit the next level next stream. It will be good. I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm actually really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're watching on Twitch, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I definitely want to get that link for that funny clip from earlier. I probably can find it later. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and you all have a good night.